Hey everybody, Tim here with today's Star Wars review, part 3 of season 4 for Clone Wars. A lot of stuff going on and some really good stories. So I'm going to do two 4-part stories. The first one's episodes 15, 16, 17, and 18. Deception, Friends and Enemies. Why just call it Frenemies? The Box, which I loved, and Crisis on Naboo. Really great story. Obi-Wan shot and killed. We see, but it turns out it's just the big ruse, and he's actually going undercover, and just all of the scenes, like them shaving his head and his beard, him just going undercover in prison. It's very like, what was that? Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, where they're completely like surgically altering who he looks like. So stuff like that's pretty cool. We see Cad Bane. Moralo Eval is the main person they're going to go find. And I don't know, he seemed really familiar. Like, he almost reminded me of one of the aliens from Enterprise. But it's kind of interesting, just all the different people that show up. Like, Boba shows up and Bosk shows up. And Obi-Wan's just trying to make friends with Bane and Eval. And so from there, we go to the next one where Bane is just trying to get rid of Obi-Wan's character, which I love how his codename is Ben, which that's always bugged me about like the original series. We got like Obi-Wan Kenobi and just all of these like just the names that they come up with. And then there's Luke, and then there's Ben, and it's like, okay. Whatever. So but I loved how they actually brought Ben into this. So anyways, Bane hates him, trying to get rid of him, and Anakin knows that he's alive. So it's already like slowly starting to twist. Probably my favorite episode out of the 4-parter is The Box. Bunch of bounty hunters shoved in a box designed by Eval, and they just have to escape. There's poisonous gas, there's walls that like jut out and kill people, there's laser walls that only one of them can get through, stuff like that. And then finally the big twist at the end is, so far Bane has just hated Obi-Wan Kenobi's character, but then he saves him at the end. Like, okay, you know what, you've kind of proven that you do have what it takes. And then Bane is put in charge. So I was like, oh, this is just great. The last episode was kind of too neat of a cleanup, where it's just these bounty hunters now have to kidnap Palpatine, them going through all of the different like hollow emitters and stuff. It's just the last part was a little let down for me, but it was a great 4-part series. The last 4-part episodes through to finish up season 4, Massacre, Bounty, Brothers, and Revenge. Phenomenal. It was so good. I could not get over it. It starts out all about Ventress and them doing their little voodoo doll against Dooku, which was great. Ventress meets Bosk and Dengar, played by Simon Pegg, a great little cameo. And we see Boba again, and it's just a train heist. The actual point of the train, didn't care. That's what's known as a MacGuffin, because it doesn't matter. The whole thing is just Ventress trying to like win her way through these bounty hunters, and it's great. Her double-crossing Boba, and she's like, here's his part of the money too, because he still deserves it. And it kind of shows, like, she's still a good person. I mean, she used to be a Jedi. So it's kind of interesting. Like, she's almost the foil for Ahsoka, if you will. Like, Ahsoka is a Jedi who kind of, like, deviates, but still stays on the good side. Ventress was a Jedi who deviated, but she kind of goes more towards the Sith side. So there's a lot of, like, foil going on, and I really like that. Brothers is interesting because it has a red title sequence instead of the yellow, but it's finally the return of Darth Maul, or Spider Maul in this one, played by Sam Witwer, who we've seen before in Clone Wars, where he played the Son. I don't play video games, much less Star Wars video games, so I guess he's famous for being in a lot of those as well. The Garbage Planet is kind of interesting. A lot of different references that could be to like anything from the movie Soldier to Junkion from Transformers, but it was still kind of an interesting little garbage planet. The Snake Guy, super annoying, didn't like him. And then, like I said, we see Spider Maul, who he was cut in half over a decade ago at this point. And just, he's gone crazy. So they have to bring him back to the home world, and the witch has to give him his new robot legs, which it's impossible for me to see him in that whole line and not think of like Forrest Gump, where you got new legs. And it's just like, yep, he has robot legs. So, but we find when Obi-Wan and Maul finally see each other, it's the most badass fight ever, where it's Ventress and Obi-Wan against Maul and Savage, and Obi-Wan with a red lightsaber. It is such a good fight sequence. Overall, I'm super excited for Maul to come back. I know a lot of people where he's kind of hit and miss. Like, some people are like, nah, he done got cut in half, he's dead, just let him go. And some people are like, he's kind of the greatest villain to come out of Star Wars since the original series, and they just threw him aside. So a lot of people were super excited to see him, come back. I'm more excited to see him come back. I'm curious what you guys think about Season 4 overall. I said it kind of started a little slow, but these last 8 episodes have been great. My cat loved it. So, curious what you guys think. Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time for part 1 of Season 5.